Shreds as a skate shop is creeping up on our 20-year anniversary, and it's kind of put us in this reflection mode. What's up guys, my name is Levi and I'm from Shred Shop connecting you to skateboarding, and today we're going to talk about something vulnerable. Why are skate shops dying? In the over 20 years that I've been skateboarding in this area, there's been 20 plus skate shops that we've had in the area. Our city is around 1.4 million people. Now today, for the city that we are on the edge of, there is only 3 left. Even in that time, there's been new shops that have been open and then they've closed in the same window. As you guys know, we care about supporting the local skate shop because we believe that the local skate shop feeds into the local scene and builds skateboard community and keeps it alive in little pockets all over the world. So guys, make sure you're supporting your local skateboard shop. And you know what? Let us know below what your favorite local skate shop is. When you go to a new city because you know you're a part of something bigger in skateboarding, probably the first thing you're gonna do is go to that local shop. They're gonna have tips for you for where to skate, where to eat, where to park, where to avoid, and even local tips, because those guys know the area and they care about you and care about skateboarding. And so today we're going to do a little dive into the history of skateboard shops and why some of them are closing. If you're down for the community and on for the journey, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment and share these videos to help us out. We'll see you there. On October 6, 1962, Val Surf opens, and it's the world's first ever skateboard shop. They sold skateboards and surfboards as skateboarding was in its infancy at this time. It's interesting to note that Val Surf is still going today, and it's obviously the longest running skate shop of all time. Skateboarding was definitely a little brother to surfing until the 80s when the Bones Brigade blew up and skateboarding had a huge resurgence. It also helped that there was a couple films like Back to the Future and Gleaming the Cube that brought skateboarding into the mainstream's eye. This is where we saw a rise in skateboarding shops opening up all over the world. This is also where we see the mail order boom. So basically you went through your Thrasher magazine and at the very back, you could order clothing through there. That time was when you saw the first appearances from shops that are still around today, like CCS and Skate Skates. The skateboard industry was booming at the time. Steve Cab, who wrote for Pal Peralta, said that in 1987, he made over $250,000 in board royalties in 1 year. And that was for making $1 a board. After that, the early 90s come in, and there's kind of a skateboarding famine, a dip in the skateboard industry. Tony Hawk said that he went from that kind of money and then into the 90s, got a check for only $10 for board royalties at one time. And obviously with the popularity of skateboarding dipping, we see a lot of skateboard shops close. And it seemed like skateboarding was just a fad that had ended. But then as we creep towards the 2000s, the Tony Hawk Pro Skater video game dynasty starts to blow up. As well, we see a huge rise in skateboarding in mainstream culture. Skateboarding contests like the X Games also ends up on TV, putting skateboarding in the living rooms of just average suburban culture. And then at this time, we see a huge boom of skate shops opening because skateboarding is blowing up, which you can look to today. There's a lot of skate shops that are celebrating their 20-year anniversary because they started around that THPS time. And this was the glory days of the skate shop because everywhere you looked, everyone was wearing skate shoes and everyone was wearing skateboard clothing. Like even moms pushing strollers and groms and jocks and everyone out there, random dads at the mall. Even the security guards underneath their black shirts were wearing Pal Peralta shirts. It was all Vans, it was all Etnies, it was all S. And then in 2008, we see the world's largest economic collapse, affecting every industry. This caused so many skate shops and brands to close. Although this collapse was focused mainly around the housing industry in the United States, it affected every industry globally. Around that 2008 time, a lot of the shops that were booming and crushing it went into a really hard time, and we started to see shops struggle and eventually close. An interesting contrast is just a few years later that on one side, the local skate shop was dying because of this global crisis, and on the other side, the internet was starting to grow and boom. And so we started to see huge online retailers become a thing and grow, like CCS, SoCal, and Skate Warehouse. Now this is where we start to see things get interesting because over the following decade, it leads us to the 2020s and we start to see the death by direct to consumer. Before, the brands needed the skate shop to get the product to the consumer. This also helped build the skateboard community. But because of the internet and because of different apps and all that sorts of stuff, the brands were starting to cut out the skate shop and starting to sell direct to consumer. And people love convenience, so they can go on their phones and they can order straight from the brand rather than having to go down the street to the store. This definitely hurt a lot of the skate shops because a lot of the owners maybe weren't very tech savvy or they didn't have the resources to build a good website. And we're not necessarily going to whine. We understand it's business. Why wouldn't a shoe company sell directly to the consumer and make double the profit? But in turn, what they can hurt is the skateboard community, boots on the ground in every town around the entire world, because they aren't the ones shaking hands, high-fiving, teaching skateboarders skateboarding and building skateboarding. On the other hand, we totally understand skateboard shops need to get their stuff together. They need to get tech savvy, get online, sell on apps, do all that kinds of stuff. But the crazy thing is it's starting to come full circle. The more that brands go direct to consumer, the more shops will die. And then when shops die, the skateboard community dies, and then less people are getting into skateboarding, and then the brands have less consumers to sell to. It's basically a snake eating its own tail. Now, what we're not saying is that just go and spend your money frivolously at the skate shop for stuff you don't need. But if you believe in the skateboard community and you have a skateboard shop that supports the skateboard community for you and your city and the city around it, go and buy your gear there. Keep in mind when you're buying these big companies, which we all love, we love the skate product that they put out, but they're not the ones boots on the ground teaching skateboarding, building skateboarding community, getting skateboard parks in your area. It's your skate shops. So guys, make sure you're supporting your local skateboard shop. And you know what? Let us know below what your favorite local skate shop is. Even if you're in the middle of nowhere and you don't have your own local skate shop and you're forced to buy stuff online, find an online store that's from a local skate shop. Buy from them, build their skate community. Skateboarding loves you, let's love it back. Guys, I'm Levi, this is Shred Shop Connect you to skateboarding, and today we just talked about why all the skate shops are dying. Stay tuned for a less depressing comment of the week. Oh, we got a spicy one, comment of the week. It's from my guy, BLG020. He said, this is the first I've ever heard about creeper trucks. Dude, you're sleeping under a rock. But if you want to hear the real OG story, head over to the Story of Grind King video we did. It's one of the best videos we've ever made.